All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. This is Si Wing Yi from the Year Real Estate Network. Thank you for attending. And uh, so, what we have in front of you is we have our Florida network partner, Mr. Justin Zawatny, who represents Seaburn Management, and his company and his builder in Mike Newell has been working with us for a while, and we have presented several products in the Southwest Florida area, in the duplex in Lehigh Acres, and then the single family home new construction in LaBelle, Florida. So we have a brand new product, brand new community in Port Charlotte, uh, Florida, which is not far from our previous two locations. So I'm very, very excited to bring this product to our network investors. And again, we have some very good success so far working with our network partner. And we have some highly motivated investors that are under contract in Lehigh Acres and LaBelle. And the momentum is building with our network. And I'm very, very happy that we have a great relationship so far with our network partner here in Southwest Florida. So without further ado, so I'm going to have Justin going to talk about exciting new construction opportunities, single family homes in Port Charlotte, Florida. So Justin, take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Yi. Excited to be on here for my first time and get the opportunity to present our next project that we're, rolling out for your network here. And like you said, that's our new construction investment in Port Charlotte, Florida. What you can see here on the first slide is the exterior photo of that project. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Has a 2-car garage. Driveway. All the lots that it's built on are about a 1/4 acre. You can see the interior here with a lot of the features, and we'll get into that as we go on. But I want to start off a little bit with the area. So this project in particular, we're targeting Port Charlotte in Charlotte County. Compared to our other projects that we've moved forward with your network so far, it's going to be a lot closer to the coast. And a little bit further north compared to, Lee County. You can see it is 1 county north, and you get that Charlotte Harbor there. It's a really great spot, pretty close to beaches and boating. And you'll see there's actually a new resort being built there, which is part of what made us really want to target this area. So this resort is in part being built by Allegiant Airlines. They fly in and out of the nearby airport, Punta Gorda Airport. So about 15 or 20 minutes from this site here, where they're building right on the water. It's going to be a pretty large hotel and resort. You can see in that bottom picture the pool area and being right there on the water with the docks. It's expected to bring about 500 more jobs to the area, which is a pretty large increase. It's going to be one of the bigger employers for the area. And just really promote growth even more, in this area of Florida. One of the things I also wanted to touch on before we really get too far into the numbers on this actual project. One of the questions that I'm always asked when I speak to one of your investors, coming from so far away, they always want to know, what do these people do in Southwest Florida? What kind of tenant is going to be living in this home? What you can see here, these are the top 15 employers in Southwest Florida. You'll notice a very common theme, really falls into one of 3 categories. You see, Lee Health, the NCH healthcare system, Bayfront Health. These are healthcare jobs that are, these are incredibly stable right now, well-paying jobs that really create an excellent tenant. We also have, lots of school districts. You'll see Collier County School District, Lee County School District, Charlotte County School District, lots of teachers, which again, salaried jobs, stable jobs that are going to be there moving forward. as well as local governments. Charlotte County, Collier County, and Lee County all fall on this list, which again are very, very stable jobs. That's what allows us to really get very, very high quality tenants. These are people that are making, well above the threshold that we look to see from our tenant as far as their income. And again, they're stable. We're not worried about the tourism industry being there. We're not worried about, any problems, with the current situation with COVID. These are jobs that are going to be there and going to keep the tenants paid and capable of paying their rent. Let's see here, the next slide here. It's another rendering of the home. Again, this is going to be just flipped. We do have, what we call the left-facing garage, like you see here, where the garage is on the left side. We also have the right-facing garage. That was in the original picture. Just based on the orientation of the lot, gives us some options there. Everything's the same, just flipped though. And here's some more pictures of the interior. Again, some of the things you'll notice, the picture on the left, that is going to be of the master bathroom. Some of the things you'll see in our homes that you won't see in our competitors are going to be that floor to ceiling tile with a decorative tile band in the soapbox. Most of our competitors, to keep their prices low, are going to put one of the plastic insert tubs in there, and just kind of get by. We don't want to just get by. We want to build something that is both durable. In this case, with the tile being laid like this, it's going to be much, much more difficult for a tenant to damage it in any way than a plastic insert tub, which can crack or be stained, things like that. In addition, it just gives a more luxury feel for the tenant. You'll also notice the shower head isn't coming out the wall there. That shower head is up in the ceiling. It's a rain shower, so it's coming straight down. Something that's going to give that luxury feel. In the picture on the right, that's going to be your main living area, as well as the kitchen you can see back there. Some of the things to take note, we have that luxury vinyl flooring throughout. You can see it looks just like a hardwood, but it is vinyl. So it's going to be water resistant. It's going to be very, very durable, very difficult to damage. So as a landlord, you don't need to worry about replacing cracked tiles or scratched hardwoods or anything like that. You'll see it has the vaulted ceilings, which make that home feel very big, very spacious. We have granite countertops in the kitchen, hardwood cabinets, stainless steel appliances, again, huge island in there. Things that are going to make this home feel not just like your typical cheap investment property, but something that is, luxury standards. And again, creates a lot more interest when we put one of these on the market to rent. And someday when the investor does choose to sell the home, again, just a much, more superior product to, the other options that are out there. Get into the numbers here a little bit.
Well, before you do that, Justin, can you go over the warranties that you have for this new construction?
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll go back a slide here. So again, it is a new construction product. With that, it comes with a very standard builder's warranty. Any type of defects in the home because of construction, it's going to be covered for a year. With that comes great assurance for the landlord for that first year. If you have any appliances breaking, anything happen to the water heater or the AC system, you're not going to be spending money out of your pocket to fix it, unless it's due to some horrible misuse, which is very rare. If there's any type of defect in that home, it's covered by the warranty. In addition, if there's any structural problems with the home, those are going to be covered for 10 years. So any foundation problems, things like that, there's a 10-year warranty on those where you don't need to spend potentially thousands of dollars to fix it. It's covered through that builder warranty. So it gives you that assurance that you get to keep those profits from the rent, not just turn around and spend it on maintenance, which no one likes to do.
Very good. That's very reassuring. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting back, you don't have to turn. You do not have to turn the slide. But my question, sort of concerning on the previous slide, can you talk about? My information tells me that not only you have a good, solid foundation base of local potential tenants to the house, to the home, to occupy the homes, as you indicated, but it appears that my information and information is out there because of the pandemic situation and the ability of people who can work remotely. So a lot of people from especially from Florida into Florida, a lot of people from the Northeast, especially New York City, New Jersey, the huge metro there, a lot of people are migrating, get away from this, city congestion and all those unhealthy aspects of living in a condensed space. So the what I hear in terms of economic trends from many experts stating that not only the retirees are coming down to Florida from the Northeast area, but also millennials are coming down because they want to go into a small metro, into a smaller area where they can settle in and have a lot of space, a lot of privacy. So we're coming to they love single family homes now. So the migration pattern has been really accelerated as a result of what's going on with the pandemic. So Florida is one of the top areas where people are moving to because of the job growth and population growth. My information tells me that in terms of timing, Southwest Florida, your area, which consists of the metro of Lehigh Acres, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and LaBelle, and now Port Charlotte. I mean, I'm sure you are seeing a lot of people are moving into your area. This is just a beginning of this migration trend, so it bodes well for your product. So what are your thoughts around that?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the trends that we're seeing in the area is that the inventory is really starting to bottom out. There's not a lot on the market because there are so many buyers looking to purchase in this market. Homes are typically selling in this area in as little as a day or two. And a lot of times you'll see a multiple offer situation in those 1 or 2 days if you're priced right. Like you said, not only have people traditionally retired to this area of Florida, which is always going to be a trend. I don't see that stopping anytime soon. But with the current situation where people now have the flexibility to work from home, which I think most people fully expect to continue moving forward, even post-pandemic, once it's all over, I think businesses are finding out they don't need to keep people in an office, paying for that high-priced rent to keep the office open. They can let everyone work from home and keep up that same productivity. It's causing a lot of people, like you said, to leave cities from the Northeast. But here in Florida, we're even seeing it much more regionally. The East Coast of Florida is going to be your much more urban section of Florida. People are leaving, those high rises in those cities to come over to Southwest Florida because has so much more of a suburban feel. Most buildings in Southwest Florida are going to really stop at about 3 floors. You don't see much higher than that. A majority of the housing is going to be single family or maybe a 2-level condo. So it spreads the population out much more. There's a lot more land in Southwest Florida that's available versus, in these very condensed cities. So it gives us the ability to do that. And I think that's something that, market trends are showing us buyers really want. They don't want to be living in a, 50 tall, story building with people just stacked up on top of each other. They want their space, they want their land. And that's what we have to offer here in Southwest Florida.
Yeah, that's very reassuring. So our expectation is once this new constructions are completed and you as a property manager are gonna place the tenant in there, you're gonna have many more high quality tenants than there are available homes to rent. So we anticipate that the tenant, the rental market will be extremely strong, not only right now, but for the foreseeable future. So we could very well see once any of our investor owner, once the house is completed and you make your house rent ready for the tenant, you can find a number of potential tenant rental applications fighting to rent any of these houses that we have have available. Would that be a fair assessment?
I think that's very fair. I mean, even months ago, again, because these are new construction properties, that have these luxury finishes, when we put one of our homes on the market, we typically get anywhere from 15 to 20 inquiries the very first day. From that, there are going to be some unqualified tenants, but we typically do get 3 to 4 very, very strong, very, very qualified tenants who want that home, within those first 2 days. And usually within the first week, we have someone who, has gone through the full application process, and we have that signed lease in place. It was like that prior to everything happening, and with the market the way it is, I'm excited to start putting some of these on the market because it's going to be fast. We're going to get some really good tenants very quickly.
Yeah, good to hear it, because the previous product you've been promoting to our investors in Lehigh Acres and LaBelle, we have seen received some very good positive results in terms of renters renting to homes very, very quickly. So in this Port Charlotte new build single family home will be no exception. So that should be the least of the worries of potential investors owning these homes. Now, okay, so when an investor pick a property from you guys, they are obviously, the house is not being developed yet, so they can be buying the lot. You want to talk about this later on toward the end of the presentation? You want to talk about, if an investor will want to pick a property?
We can talk about the process now. I think it's a good time to talk about that.
All right. Well, okay. Let me begin by saying that if any of the investors are interested in your opportunity, they have to contact me first. That'd be ideal, so I could do some consultation with them to determine their investors' goals and objectives, and determine whether they qualify and the financial resources that have available. Then, once I decide that our member investor is qualified and is motivated, then I will send them to Justin here, and then Justin, when you begin to talk with our investor member, what are some of the steps? Can you go through the chronological steps? Step 1, step 2, step 3. What's the process?
Absolutely. Yeah. Usually the first step, most investors are still going to have some further questions. A couple, little things they want to make sure they fully understand before they get into the project. And I can always answer those questions for them. Once they have decided this is the project for them, they're ready to move forward. What we do is we look at the available lots on the market. Unlike a lot of builders who are going to, have a lot portfolio and say, great, pick from one of these 3 lots that we already own. What we do is we'll look at what's on the market, typically find anywhere from 3 to 10 lots that fit our criteria to build on, send them to you and say, okay, well, which of these do you like? It gives a lot more flexibility to the investor. If there's any particular features that they're looking for in the lot, that we can find that for them. They're not stuck to what we already own. Once they pick, we always can recommend some too, seeing as so many investors are far away. Once they pick, we go ahead and we put that lot under contract ourselves, and then we'll send the contract to the investor. At that point, they'll sign the contract, and a 10% deposit goes into escrow. Now that 10% deposit is something that we draw upon during the construction process, and that is all laid out in the contract. As far as building the home, these builds, they move pretty quick. Sometimes permitting can take a touch longer than we like, given everything going on. A lot of the counties still have about 50% occupancy in their buildings. So instead of getting a permit in 20 to 25 days. It's taking 40 to 45, a little bit longer. Once we have that permit, we can typically build the home in under 100 days. It usually happens pretty quick. So again, with that math, you're looking at about 4 months from the time you sign that contract to the time the home is completed and built. At that point, we still aren't ready for closing. What we do is we then place a tenant into the home. All of our products are what we call a turnkey real estate investment. So that tenant is in place with at least signed, paying rent before the investor ever closes. What that allows is when the investor does close on the home, they don't have to worry about any vacancy at the beginning of that time that they own the home. They're making money, day one. That allows for the projections, as you'll see on the next page, to be really phenomenal. You have a 12-month lease already signed. You're not looking at vacancies for at least the first year, and even then, with this being single family, it's rare to see someone move out after that first year. I would say average for our properties, you typically see tenants stay for 3 to 5 years. So again, creates really, really good performance on this home, seeing as you're going to be collecting a lot of rent, before you see any of that vacancy where you're then paying for the mortgage, out of pocket. Again, once that tenant is in place, we'll work with the home buyer, go ahead and get that home closed, and then we go ahead and take over the management from there for them to ensure that there's someone here locally keeping an eye on that home, taking care of their tenant, making sure that everything's maintained properly. In the event that we need to go ahead and get a new lease in place, we always handle that for them as well.
Yes. What about? I know Port Charlotte is a little bit closer to the Gulf, to the water. So being close proximity to the water. So what are some of the concerns around the hurricane, and how this type of construction gonna mitigate the risk, and also about the insurance costs in terms of what does that monthly insurance coverage cover in terms of this hurricane?
Absolutely. We down here in Southwest Florida have one of the strictest building codes you're going to find anywhere in the country. And we do everything we can to even exceed that. One of the things you'll see often in investment properties to cut corners and cut costs is people will build a wood frame home. We won't do it. It's just not something we can do and feel good about. You're going to be much more prone to damage, even in a minor hurricane at that point. All of our homes, they're going to be concrete block construction, again, built to the highest code, and that's going to protect your investment. They do have impact windows as well, so that's going to help withstand the high winds that come along with hurricanes. Like you said, the insurance policy that the homeowner will have, it's going to have a hurricane deductible. It'll have coverage in the event of damage from a storm. It all depends on the coverage they buy. Typically, deductible could be, anywhere from $500 to maybe $2,000, depending on the coverage they choose. Again, I recommend they speak with an insurance professional on that, and get the coverage that they feel the most comfortable with. But again, it's not like a hurricane's going to come, destroy the roof of your home and you're coming out of pocket, $40,000 for a new roof. You're probably going to pay somewhere between $500 and $2,000 to get the roof replaced, and the insurance company is going to cover the rest of it from there. So, while it is a risk, we do everything we can to help, limit the damage as much as possible. And in the event of any, extreme damage, the insurance will step in and cover a lot of it.
That's good. That's very reassuring to hear. So what I hear from you is that the weather situation should not deter any out-of-state investors from purchasing your great product, right?
Right. Absolutely. No, I wouldn't say that at all. I mean, we had actually a small tropical storm blow through this weekend, and you really didn't even notice it. It rained a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Okay, let me get you one quick question from the previous slide. Again, you do not have to turn the slide, but I know Port Charlotte is right now is a little town north of Cape Coral, across that little pond or the little river. I'm not sure, but am I to believe that with their tenant, they're living potentially gonna rent these houses, or some of them are they work in Port Charlotte, and so they have a short commute. And if the people that works in Cape Coral at Fort Myers, they're renting in Port Charlotte. I mean, is that how it goes? And what are the commute time from Port Charlotte to Cape Coral and Fort Myers, if they have to commute to work?
Absolutely. Yeah, you would definitely see both of those. Like you saw on that previous slide, Charlotte County, the Charlotte County school system, a number of other employers. There are jobs there. They absolutely work in Charlotte County, and there's a large number of people who do. You also do see people commute. There are lots of jobs in Lee County and Collier County as well. Some pretty large manufacturing companies even. Another large company here is Arthrex. They manufacture a lot of prosthetics. So you will see people commute to jobs like that. From Port Charlotte to Fort Myers, you're probably looking at anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what area of Port Charlotte to what area of Fort Myers. Pretty reasonable commute. Something very average, I'd say, for Southwest Florida. So you will see that. And again, that just creates more jobs that these tenants can have. And their reason for going to Port Charlotte is going to be the value. The same thing with the homes in LaBelle that we saw is a similar trend that we see in Port Charlotte. The homes rent for $1,600 a month, anywhere in that $1,550 to $1,600 range. So what you get for that price in Fort Myers, the city, is going to be a lot less than what you get in Port Charlotte. At that price, you're probably looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, probably 15 to 20 years old, which is great. Some people love that. But if you're someone with a small family, you probably want that single family home with a yard, where you're a little bit more spread out from your neighbors. And that's what you can get for the same price in Port Charlotte. And you find that 30-minute drive each day is worth it to get that home that you want.
Right. So Justin, what I hear you saying is that the Port Charlotte, which is similar to LaBelle in a way that it is, well, what I call it is the path of growth, is people moving toward the suburban area, people moving because Cape Coral and Fort Myers is getting to be more expensive, right? Mm-hmm. And more congested nowadays because of the tremendous growth associated with this Southwest Florida area in the past 10 years. And because of the tremendous job in population growth moving forward in Southwest Florida, people, what you just said, what I understand is that Port Charlotte is one of the suburban cities, fast growing little cities that are getting the influx of people moving there to not only to rent the homes that you guys are selling on behalf of investors, but also to buy cheaper homes with better value, with better square footage, and cheaper in Port Charlotte than the surrounding Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Lehigh Acres, and other areas.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Absolutely.
that right?
Absolutely. And you said it a couple of times. Cape Coral, I think, is a great comparison to the Port Charlotte market. I think if you look at where Cape Coral was, 15 to 20 years ago,
yep,
that's where Port Charlotte is right now. This home that we're building in Port Charlotte, if we picked it up and we dropped it to a lot, in Cape Coral, it's going to be, probably a little bit, upwards of $300,000. Probably looking at the low 300,000s. Probably going to rent for somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 a month. Again, by making that short, 20 to 30 minute commute, you just cut a pretty large chunk off of the purchase price if it's a buyer, or several $100s a month off the rent. And that's why you see a lot of people do it. But I also think that that's a great example of where this Port Charlotte market can go, where it will end up.
Yep. Well, I'm very, very excited. So without further ado, let's turn over the next few slides so we can go over the pro forma and the cash flow analysis. And when our investors see these type of numbers with the cash flow, and especially with this amazing lowest interest rate in history, in historical low interest rate, about 3%. Think about it. I just verified with my loan agent, Mr. Richard Avani from Wells Fargo, who does most of our investment loans for our members a few days ago. And he told me for investment mortgage rate, 30-year amortized rate is 3%. I mean, this is amazing, right? When you have low inventory and when you have one of the lowest historical interest rate ever, then it helps, it creates a housing boom, in my opinion. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the 3% interest rate on this product, on this property, which we could go over, Justin and I, you're getting even more cash flow, positive cash flow monthly than before. So without further ado, Justin, go ahead and you and I, let's run down the numbers associated with this property.
Absolutely.
Look at the high level, talk about the square footage, how much it costs for investor. And you will also want to tell our investors the appraised value. If a retail investor would buy this product, they will pay a lot more than our investor buying this product, because they're part of my network and they're part of your, circle.
Exactly. Yeah. So this home that we showed in the pictures, it's what we call our Langdon model. Again, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, has a 2-car garage. Under air, it's just over 1,400 square feet, which again is a great size for a 3-bedroom home. If it was sold to someone on the open market, if we had a buyer come in and say, I want to buy one for myself, this home sells for $225,000. One of the things, like Mr. Yee said, that we've been able to do is because these investors are coming from his network and they're partnering with us. We're able to pass on a pretty large amount of equity to the investors. We sell them for $195,000 to investors. Part of the reasons we're able to do that is because we do so much in-house. We have, from the time construction starts, we develop it with our own development team. We then lease the home out ourselves with no leasing fees for the first lease. We then help close on the home through our sales team. We then manage the home for all the years to come. And someday when the investor is ready to sell it, we are a full service real estate brokerage. We can sell that home for them as well. So because we can take care of so many steps along the way, it allows us to pass discounts on throughout the entire process of owning this home. And it starts right from the time you buy it, where you see a $30,000 chunk of equity that's passed along. So again, at that purchase price, looking at a down payment of $48,000, $48,750. There are $1,000 of loan origination fees, and then you have the closing costs. Your total amount of cash for that investment, $53,750. Cost per square foot and that monthly rent to per square foot ratio, those are really competitive numbers. I mean, you're not going to find a new construction home in Port Charlotte at $138 a square foot. It's just not out there.
Good.
So getting into the income, again, we project this at $1,550 a month. Given the current trends, when this home is ready to be leased, I wouldn't be surprised if it was up to $1,600 by then. But again, for the projections here, we ran them at $1,550 because we know without question that we can get those numbers. And again, you see there's 0 vacancy losses that first year because this is a turnkey investment. That tenant is in place, they're paying the rent. There's going to be a 12-month lease there, so there's 0 vacancy that first year. Getting into some of the expenses, you'll see the property taxes on there. insurance cost, management fees. Again, management fees, we charge an 8% management fee, which is below the market average. Again, we do so much throughout the process. We pass discounts along throughout the process. You'll see there's no leasing or advertising fees that first year. We place that tenant the first time, with no charge. When that first tenant does eventually move out and we go to release it, we do charge a 50% leasing fee, so half of 1 month's rent. And again, that's just to cover our advertising fees. Again, that's a very competitive rate there. There is no HOA, so there's no association fees. And you'll see there's no maintenance that we're going to include for that first year. This home is under warranty first year, so there's really nothing that I can imagine that would cause the homeowner to pay maintenance fees that first year. It's just not out there. Anything goes wrong with an appliance, it's covered. Anything happens, to even, let's say there was a problem with the drywall, it's covered the first year. You're not going to see maintenance fees. There is a lawn on this home, but that is a cost that we pass along to the tenant. It's not something that our homeowners pay for. And given that there is a tenant for that first year, there's no maintenance on the lawn even. So again, your operating expenses are very low compared to a lot of other properties.
Excellent. So far, so good. Yeah. Okay. Let's show the next cash flow.
Next slide. Loading here.
Computer a little bit slow, huh?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Here we go.
Okay. So here we have some of the different financial indicators.
Justin, I think you may have skipped a previous slide. I think you may have done that. That shows the monthly cash flow. Am I right? Or I may be mistaken. I'm not sure.
No, that's coming up. That's going to be on the next slide after these financial indicators.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Proceed.
Yeah. So I mean, the financial indicators. We'd have a rent to value ratio of 0.8%. Yeah, excellent ratio there. Cap rate, you're looking at just under 7%, which again, very competitive.
Yep.
Cash on cash return of 11%. And the total return on investment being the biggest at 35% that first year, which is really an incredible number.
Oh yeah. By the way, Justin, let me explain to the audience, what does this total return on investment, which is 35 cents, what does it mean? It means how do you come up with 35%? That it comes up by with your down payment. If your down payment is $53,700, which is 25% down payment on an investment loan, and then you calculate the annual net cash flow. You add that annual net cash flow and the 5% projected appreciation rate for the first 12 months. It's just projection. Then you add those two numbers up, equals to whatever the final number, and divide that by the total cash invested of 53,000. That's how you get 35% total return on investment. So I want to make sure that everybody is clear how we derive at this number. So 35% is a darn good number, which we're not going to get with the stock market investing at all. So okay, all right, proceed. The next slide.
So on that next slide, this is that net performance slide. You'll see after the expenses come out of the rent, you're left with a net operating income of just over $1,100. The mortgage payments with that incredibly low interest rate that we have right now, they're $617. So you have the ability to cash flow almost $500 a month. That's money into your pocket each month. Once that is paired in with that first year appreciation and the principal reduction from paying off the mortgage, you're left with almost $20,000 worth of equity after that first year, which again is a really phenomenal number. Um, and again, one of the biggest things that we even leave off of this is the fact that you're already starting with $30,000 in equity. So I
Actually,
mean, effectively, you're almost at $50,000 worth of
yeah,
equity after that first year.
you're absolutely right. It's really, I mean, it's really more than 35% total return on investment. But we try to not to calculate the paper profit that you make, right? You're buying at 195K, it appraises for like 225, right? So
Mhm.
we're not even going to calculate the paper profit you make by buying at a discount
Mhm.
into this formula that we apply. So so that's just so you know.
Just a little extra money left on the side there. It's
Yeah, I would
again
say just a little
really.
extra. Okay, proceed.
And let's see the last slide here.
I think that might be the last slide, right?
Get this to load.
Mhm.
Uh, should load up here in just a minute. It's going to be just the general assumptions that we use, in that calculation. Um, like Mr. Yi said, we do assume a 5% appreciation rate, which is right on average. One slide too far. Which at 5%, that is right on average for this area and what they've seen, uh, over the last 10 years. We do assume a 0% vacancy rate. Again, because we do place such high quality tenants, and they are going to be leasing the home, from day one. We don't foresee any vacancy, so we're not going to
Right.
include that there. We did include the $124 management fee each month, which is the 8% that we do take there. And again, there's 100% equity share percentage, assuming you're buying this on your own. And then a little bit more information here on that mortgage. It is 25% down payment on the mortgage, the loan being just under $147,000, which with that 30 years fixed rate of 3%, you're looking at $616.50 a month, which is, I mean, an incredibly low number. That's going to create a lot of cash flow right from the very first year, which is one of the biggest struggles with a lot of investment properties. Getting that cash flow year one, you're usually looking to just cover expenses, and we're creating, like I said, almost $500 worth of cash flow that very first year before we see any rent increases or anything like that, which is really a phenomenal number.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, investors does not necessarily have to put 25%, but that's a typical. It would be nice to have 25%. You get the lower interest rate. You could put down 20% down payment if you want, but the interest rate might be a little bit higher than 3.0, maybe 3.1 or 3.2, but it's a personal choice. We can go over that on a case-by-case basis. Okay, is this the last slide, Justin?
Yeah, a couple more. Just
okay.
One of the things that we want to show, we include it in most of our presentations. So if someone's watched one of ours in the past, we always include some pictures of our sales office and our team. This isn't just a couple people trying to make something happen here. We do have a full sales team, full team working on the development of the homes, and really providing the best service available. So we always do include that here at the end.
Yeah, Justin, I know I've been working with your builder for a while now, and so far we have a very good experience. And my take is that Mike Newell and his builder company is really are very ambitious. You guys are expanding into new markets within the Southwest Florida area. So, you guys are really ramping up, and you guys have shows a great track record. So we trust your product. We have some good experience so far. Great investor testimonial so far. So so I know you guys are entering Port Charlotte right now, which is great. And don't give away too much, but you guys are continuing to find some new communities to promote your investment opportunities for our investment group for the foreseeable future. So just all I ask of you, my members, is to follow the trend, follow what we're doing, follow what the builders. New construction is the name of the game these days, not just in Southwest Florida, right? It's all over the country. It's very, very hard to find new construction anyway, because there's a lack of land everywhere, right? You can't build land anymore. So this is a high value product, a lot of great future potential. So this is a great cash flow and appreciation potential market. And with the, with the location in the neighborhood, I would have to say like a C plus, a B minus, even a B neighborhood type of communities moving forward. So all the positive trend makes this market, Southwest Florida and Port Charlotte, and overall this market will have a lot of potential for future growth. So that's my take. So Justin, okay, continue, Justin. I'm not, I have to.
No, I have to agree with everything you said. One of the biggest things that I always like to point out, new construction, it is the new product moving forward that's really going to create the best results. When these investors are buying the home, and they're walking into $30,000 worth of equity. Traditionally, go back not even that far, 5-10 years, for you to get $30,000 worth of equity when you first purchase a home, it means you bought a severely distressed property, spent your own money to go ahead and improve the property, and maybe you would see that level of equity gained, after putting in months of work and thousands of dollars of your own money to get it there. With this product, you're going to get it in about 6 months with a tenant already leasing it, ready to go with a warranty, and making, phenomenal money right from the start. It's really a very, very interesting product that we've put together that is really difficult for someone to find a better opportunity.
Exactly, Justin. I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. So, are we pretty much almost done? You have any one final high-level recap, some call for action?
Yeah, no, I mean, really, I'd say, this is a really great opportunity. We're going to bring it here to your group for the first time. We're offering really best possible prices out there. If it's something you're interested in, definitely reach out to Mr. Yee, get in touch, make sure it is a great product for you and your goals. And from there you'll speak to me and we'll get moving on the process.
Sounds good, Justin. Wow, great presentation. Very, very informative. I think I have already anticipated any potential investor questions and concerns throughout this presentation. So I'm sure some of you will have more, I get it. But at the end of the day, we're here to work as a team. We have a great team here in Southwest Florida. They're gonna be around for a long time to come because I'm not gonna spill the beans, but your builder have a lot of other things going on for the foreseeable future. So I'm so excited, to work with you guys long term. We have a good relationship so far, happy investors so far. So look forward to it. So yeah, that's the way to build wealth, right? Through buying in a good area, fast growing market, cash flow and appreciation, good everything. And what else can you ask for? I mean, we check, this product check all the boxes. So thank you so much, Justin, for taking time out of your day to give this presentation. And we look forward to working with you. And Justin, by the way, you guys, Justin is a very good consultant. I mean, he's very hands-on. He takes time to work with our investors, answer all the questions. He's good in follow-up. He's good in, in customer service, client service. So I'm not saying this just to say this, Justin, because I have worked with many other groups over my years of doing this. I've been doing this for more than 15 years, out of state turnkey investing. So I have to honestly tell you and tell my membership out there that so far you guys are providing a good, relationship-based type of service you hold hand to my investors, then you reach out to them, you answer their phone calls and texts and messages, and you guide them, walk them through. So we work as a team. You know, my investors, they you know me, right? I'm a high level mentor myself. I love working with on an individual client, one-on-one. I mean, over the years, you know, I mean, that's what you guys been telling me, right? My member have been telling me that they like working with me because I care about my investors. I work with them, I communicate with them very effectively. And Justin and your team are no different. You know, your company, your system, your process are in alignment with the Year Real Estate Network company philosophy. So for that reason, we have a good chemistry, we have a good alignment, you know, good core value together. So work as a team, right? It's a win-win situation for you as a network partner, and for myself as a, you know, a consultant, investment club here with the Year Real Estate Network here in the Bay Area, and for you as investors out there. So it's a win-win situation. Everybody win by working together, so we can help you reach the investors, your financial goals and your financial dreams and your financial freedom by, you know, by doing this kind of investing. Okay, so with that in mind, that's all I have to say. Justin, thank you so much. I'll let you go, and good luck everyone when we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much. This is Si-Wing Yi and Justin Zawatni. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.